voice is probably more like kind of have like
Brooklyn,
a New York-ish kind of spiel to it. I'm not sure how to say it, but huh?
Did you ever meet former President Trump, or did you meet?
Oh,
Rudy
no, I never
Giuliani?
met him. No, I never met him.
No, you weren't at that level. Okay. Now, folks, the reason I'm asking her that is to introduce levels, okay, because we have levels of practices and codes. We have ethical codes, but we also have groups that meet in different levels based on income and influence. And this is very, very powerful. It's not, and I've learned this from a lot of people, even at GoDaddy, some of their people I talk to. It's not always what you know, but who you know.
Who you know.
And some of the young people know this, whether they've gone to college and been in fraternities or sororities or groups. But if you watch the Charmed ones, the new one is the one I'm watching, because I watched 3 different versions of Charmed, and how I got into it was my logo that my daughter and I started. This is a very interesting Wicca type of energy, but it is what I call the Ascension Age, because I was met by extraterrestrials on the other side pre-reincarnation, and they are the elders of the light lighters, or light workers, we'll say. And before, a girlfriend of mine in our group, Carla McCarty, and she was pre-Christian, but she was pre-reincarnation like I. And Carla was a channel, and I was a channel. And she met this gentleman in Kentucky where I was living. But now Carla McCarty has started a whole new movement, although she's on the other side now. I still work with her as a medium. But she wrote a book as a channel. Well, she didn't really. Don Elkins and her husband, Jim McCarty. Now, Carla was, what was her name? Reichert? Carla? I forget her last name, but because she was Carla McCarty later in life, she married Jim. Now, I didn't meet Jim. He was always going to the store, running around doing things every time I talked to her on the phone. But I was supposed to go to their big event in Louisville and then Hawaii with Dr. Michael Sala. And I know I talked to Michael Sala when he was on my radio show, but he's doing his own. He's really gone straight UFO mostly, not so much Wicca or extraterrestrial or CIA or intelligence. I don't know what you'd call what he's doing. I think he calls it exopolitics. So I think he's really into the political side. But there's much diversity in various energy and environmental groups that are Wiccan that inspire the goddess movement and spirituality, which I'm more aligned with because of the women. Now, it's not really by choice. It's what you gravitate to. And because when you ask people of choice and free will, there's a diversity among individuals.
So they have you're saying that basically it's like an organization people form. I guess, I don't know how many women, a group of women, and they do certain activities and things together.
Yeah. Yeah,
and they meet constantly for whatever reasons to do whatever projects, events, et cetera,
Yeah, I don't know what that group wants me to do. They just want me to be in their group. So I guess that's a calling that they've chosen. So it was a young girl. There were younger girls. Now, remember, I'm 70. I'm Melinda's mentor. She said I could be. You're like my mother. You're like my mother and like my, mentor. I said, like a mentor. She said, yeah, like a mentor. How are you talking? I'm trying to talk like you do.
Okay. You're trying to talk like I do.
Good, right?
I don't know if you can talk as fast as I do.
You do talk fast, but you slow down for me. I appreciate that. You and the Filipinos, I tell you, over in the Philippines, I talk to a lot of them. And I have to tell them, slow down, because we worked in setting up domains, websites, and communications, and MediaCom, and, AT&T all over the world. They have what's called call centers, folks. I don't know if you're up on the way the world is, but many people, especially in their young 20s, have gone to call centers. So they sit and they work for big companies all over the world. We have 195 countries on this planet, okay? And I imagine if they have any groups at all, they are Wiccan bound because of history, with their archetypal symbols and their gods and goddesses and their supernatural being ways. But technology, they have evangelists, including, now look up the gentleman, I use Canva, and one of the gentlemen in Hawaii, he's an evangelist like I am for cyberspace culture, are building on the internet. We speak a different language that most people don't. Look up who owns Canva, Canva.com.
Who
I know, but I want you to.
Owns.
Because I referred
Canva.
you to be it.
Canva, right?
Canva.
Canva.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tommy and Melinda on my Canva team.
Toma Bravo?
No, who owns Canva? Canva.com. Canva.com.
The developer is web-based.
Oh, you can read
Toma Bravo?
For the record.
Did I say it right?
I didn't know who sold it. Oh, well, maybe I'm behind Tom.
Toma Bravo.
He just contacted me.
It is the developer and the publisher of Canvas, a web-based
No, not
learning.
Canvas.
Huh?
Canva. Did you put in
Canva.
Canva?
Who owns Canva? And Toma Bravo came up. Founded 2008, headquarters Salt Lake City, Utah. Number of employees 1,291, revenue, etc.
Sue M. Carthy. Who's Bob?
The person's name is Toma Bravo. Huh?
Oh, there are people in our chat room. I don't know who they are. They're talking to each other. They're of the cat feline community, talking to each other. Okay, well, that's not who I'm thinking of. I was thinking of my friend from Hawaii, but let me, oh my God, has he sold the company?
Canva is a graphic design platform used to create social media graphics, presentations, posters, documents, and other visual content. The app includes templates for users to use. The platform is free to use and offers paid subscriptions like Canva Pro and Canva for Enterprise for additional functionality. Users can also pay for physical products to be printed and shipped. And it says Canva was founded in Perth, Australia by Melanie Perkins, Cliff, and all these different people in 2012.
Really?
Yep. Launched in 2000. I mean, it each time you act, it's saying different things about the Canva.
Yeah, because that's not who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of another friend of mine. But Cliff Obrecht, Melanie Perkins, and Cameron Adams in, I guess, Australia, maybe? I don't know. It says $3.2 million.
Yes. Perth, Australia.
Perth?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what about in the United States? Let's see, Canva. This is interesting because there's a gentleman, and I don't want to call forth people's names that don't know that I'm doing it, but this is education, folks. This is an education radio station, and we also do readings, but we'll do readings for you on a different day. But I didn't know the chat. Apparently, people can come on the chat room without me starting it. I had no clue. So, maybe it's people in Blog Talk Radio people. It says Fidello Bob and Sue and Carthy with a cat. But folks, I'm learning too. So you know, even though I've been here 9 years.
All right. So
It says
how much more
export,
time?
ignore, or ban. Oh, we've got 16 minutes left because we came on late. But
okay.
we've called forth several ideas for our show, but apparently people are helping us that I wasn't aware of. So we have a chat room. And I've had one for 9 years, but Tommy Hawksblood used to run the chat room for me, was very good at it. Tommy has since gone into his own YouTube in Hawaii, but he came back to run the chat room. He likes to interact on the chat room, but he doesn't like to have people on his television shows or on YouTube or on radio too much.
Oh, he has his own show as well?
Tuesday. Yeah, I introduced him to Tina Bird, a friend of mine in the UK that was doing events with Gary Hazeltine. Gary was a law enforcement officer, and he does articles for my UFO secret space community online. And but Gary understands what I'm doing with unions and understanding groups and people and why we're evoking groups, not necessarily wearing black, but black is, I'll just tell you what I know is a non-color in our reality in the Ascension Age. And so, folks, we have evoked the Ascension Age, but I've asked Melinda to evoke the membership, whether you're male or female, or you can have whatever pronoun, he, she, we, he, you, they, them, his, her, him, her, all those. And also welcoming the LGBTQ and other community, because we're growing and expanding, and we are open and welcoming to all groups. And regardless of your identifier in cyberspace, because it's all one big cyberspace culture. So I asked Melinda to help me in radio, evoke radio, and I would pay the bill. Now, I am going to ask you folks, if you like what we're doing, tell me what show you want to support. If you want to support a Wicca show weekly or monthly, please send in your $5 dues, and it's going to go to paypal.me/TJ Morris, MORRIS, ET radio, or yes, pay, and look that up. Melinda, because you're going to be my co-host for Wicca, or any other group we start in radio.
Okay, so what did you want me to look up now?
Look up PayPal and see who owns it, because I know our good friend Elon Musk in this world. PayPal. And then I've got PayPal. I've got 3. One for me personally, for me doing my readings, psychic readings. I've got one for paypal.me. I'm going to put in TJ Morris, ET Radio, which was a name brand that my Canadian publisher evoked. Yeah, it goes to ACO at TJ Morris ET Radio, Gulf Breeze, Florida.
PayPal's American.
Let me say yes, except cookies. It's got our ACO brand, which is our holding company in the international arena of cyberspace culture for all you law enforcement intelligence officers. And in the FBI, we fall under the paranormal desk for all of you intelligence officers that collect information on radio. But know that we aren't doing any of the rituals of anything strange, of devil worshiping or any of that weird crap, because I'm just going to call it what it is, crap. So now I've offended all those devil worshipers. Now, we don't consider Lucifer and Satan the devil. But on my Christian upbringing, we use the devil, like we have an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other as the light worker and the dark lighter. So we teach about white lighters and dark lighters, white and dark. And we don't like to separate it. So we, of the Ascension Cosmos oracles, are of reincarnative